So in today's Warthunder video, we have the F-117 in a hangar, which means that the update Firebirds is finally here, and we're able to enjoy the new content and the new update that Firebirds brings. Now, to me at least, with this update, I think this is going to be the patch highlight for a bunch of people, but for me, I was very much looking forward to a lot of different other things, and with this update, it kind of feels lackluster to me in a way, because majority of the things I was looking out for, which was like the new graphics settings with ray tracing, the Scimitar, all these vehicles and just settings have become very mid. So if I gotta give this update like a 1 out of 10, it's probably sitting at around a 6 or a 7 right now, just because like the vehicles themselves are pretty cool, but overall the stuff that I was looking out for too, like for example the profile, man, this looks so bad. Like, I understand that they wanted to like introduce a new profile system right here, but it just got rid of so much stuff. Like your metals are missing, your spaded vehicles are missing, and it's just kind of lame in my opinion. I mean, I understand that some people wanted some different statistics, like the monthly statistics where you could see how someone is doing in the recent month, because some people like to what I call stat snipe, and then if they see someone has really good stats, they like to focus them. But you know, that's nor here or there. It's a strategy people use. Sometimes I even use it just to see how the opponent's going to be, but at the same time it has gotten rid of that, because there's some players who have been playing for like 10 to 11 years and they were like really bad when it first started, but now they're actually able to do very well because they played the game for a very long time and they're not like 12 anymore, so they have a brain and they're actually able to do stuff. But with that being said, I mean, like, I thought there was going to be a lot more with this. They talked about the addition of adding like a nuke counter. You're going to have more statistics that you'll be able to see, but as of right now, it's actually less. You're able to see less with this new profile system, which I think is very sad. Now, also another thing that I was looking forward to, which was the graphic settings and the new ray tracing stuff. And from just playing it on the dev server, I knew that it was going to be a very iffy system, and I was like, you know what, they're taking a very long time to have this update come out. Maybe they're optimizing it, maybe they're giving it a different chance to actually be usable. And sadly, by playing today on the stream, it was very bad. So here's some gameplay of the stream whenever I first turned it on. You can see there's stuttering. Now, remind you that I have a dual PC like setup, so one PC is streaming, one PC is playing the game. So all this stuttering that you're seeing is coming from just one computer. So it's not like the stream is interfering or anything like that. It's straight up just stuttering, which was, to me at least, very sad. So also, whenever you put on ray tracing, you lose a ton of performance. So if you're running like me, a 4070 Super with an i5 13600K, it pretty much like decreases your FPS by, I would probably almost say like 60% in some cases. Like I go from like 250 to like 80 or 70, and sometimes like in Sun City, for example, with all the reflections, it can go down as low as like maybe 40, which is, to me at least, is unplayable. Now, that's without turning DLSS on. To me at least, DLSS is a thing that you should only use if you can't get performance and you need extra performance just to get over like monitor refresh rate or something. But DLSS does something funky to tracers, so that's why I personally don't use it. So far though, with the DirectX 12 beta, I've not found any huge issues with that sort of thing. It seems like it's stable, which is good, but if you're running ray tracing and you're noticing like hiccuping and you're noticing stuttering and everything, definitely just turn it off and see if that fixes it for you. I mean, it's going to probably take a while for Gaijin to optimize just the ray tracing part of the game, but overall I think it is pretty cool. Now, for day one bugs, I definitely wanted to say this, and I'm not really sure what has been fixed, but I noticed that there was a update, so this could be completely fixed right now, but I'll show some of the gameplay from the stream. But I noticed that you could actually just shoot through teammates. I'm not sure if this was a intentional bug, but in ground RB, you could just have a teammate and an enemy on the other side, and you could technically just shoot through them, which to me at least was a little bit crazy. And then also, at least to me, it also was a cool thing because you're not going to get spammed by like machine gun fire from the start of the game. Like people would shoot through you and it would just go through you instead of like pinging your tank over and over, which I think honestly is a good change. If it is a bug, hopefully they stick to that, because like it's incredibly annoying. Well, at least for me, this is just a pet peeve, but I know a lot of people also have this problem, is that you're starting out your game and you just have some dude that's just shooting you with your MGs over and over, and it's just annoying, especially if you're trying to record stuff. But at the same time, I feel like that is a bug, because I don't know why you would not be able to shoot, or why you'd be able to shoot through your teammates and your round is not stopped with them. But the biggest game-breaking bug that I have seen today was something that is very interesting. The nuke siren. For some reason, there's fake nukes right now. I'm not sure if it's been fixed. Like, once again, I took a nap after I streamed and then got back up to record this video, so maybe it is fixed with like a hotfix or something today. But there was just times in my games where the nuke siren would go off, and I'm like, oh, there's a nuke. All right, let's jump into a plane and go shoot it down. And then I look at the scoreboard, and I'm like, there's literally no one that could have a nuke right now. And then the first time it happened, I was like super paranoid because there was like a dude on the enemy team that had like 8 or 9 kills. And I'm like, well, maybe, I mean, maybe he's in a light tank or something in an up tier and he has like a nuke. So I was like, well, let's go to the airfield and like try to shoot him down. And I stayed there for like 2 or 3 minutes and I'm like, where's the TU4 or where's the B29? It should have an air spawn. I should be able to shoot it down. But whenever I did that, I was like, well, what happened? So I went into the replay, right? And I went to the dude's like POV and he just spawned an A2D and like crashed into the ground. So honestly, not sure exactly what's happening with nukes right now. There was one legit nuke that the actual siren didn't go off until he was like right above the battlefield. So I don't know. That thing just keeps getting broken and broken every single time they introduce something to Warthunder, which to me at least is very crazy. I also had this weird bug with the cockpits where there was just like random artifacting on my stuff as well. People noticed it in the stream, and when I first noticed it, I was like, this seems like it's kind of my monitor's dying, but then I was able to move it around. And I was like, well, I guess it's not my monitor dying, but it was very odd nonetheless. And there was nothing that would fix it other than whenever there was a hot fix that came in of like 100 megabytes that it actually fixed the cockpit errors. But overall, the bugs, and I've not had a single like game breaking crash today, so that's really good. And then also the only vehicle that I've been able to grind out through this new update is the Scimitar. And I want to say this right now, the people who were gaslighting me into saying that the Scimitar is going to be as good as the Fox, I was right. It's not good. Like, trust me, the Scimitar compared to the Fox is night and day difference. Like, I was like playing this thing, and yes, I didn't have the APDS, but I was just noticing the Foxes would just go into the random positions, and they were able to get in really good positions where they shoot on the sides and stuff, and they actually do pretty well. The problem with the Scimitar is it has the same problem as many of these light tanks and light vehicles, which only have like a 20 millimeter or 30 millimeter, of where the lower battle rating you put these things in, the actual harder it is to play these vehicles. So like, even though the Fox and the Scimitar are technically the same battle rating, if you put the Scimitar into like 7.3 or 7.0, it's technically going to be worse because you're going to be facing Tiger 2s, you're going to be facing vehicles like the IS-3, which you still can't pin unless you go on the side of them. And like the Scimitar is, you really can't do that because you're not as mobile as the Fox is. And it really just feels like a warrior that is put at 7.7 and that has no ATGM. That's literally all the Scimitar is. And while yes, it does have a really good reverse speed, at the same time, it's just not as good as the Fox. And people that were saying this thing was going to be good, to me at least, is not the greatest. And it's going to be an interesting vehicle to spade, but at the same time, the Fox is just better. Like, every single night and day. I mean, the Fox, like, here's something that I actually noticed with the Scimitar. You can be 50 cal with this thing, while if you're playing the Fox actually struggles to be 50 cal, which is kind of funny. And yeah, it's just a very interesting little bitty tank there. But yeah, overall, my opinion of this update has been, it's positive. I feel like more or less this is an update preparing for the December update of where we're probably going to get a lot of new content of where the game is going to have to last until March of next year. Because well, it's the last update of the year, and there's like a huge time period of where there's just not really nothing happening with the War Thunder until March of 2025. So yeah, overall, if you're looking out forward to this update and you've not played it yet, I would recommend giving it a try. I mean, there's a couple things that you can do if you really want to. I mean, there's going to be new vehicles everywhere, but so far, if you're looking for this update of the new graphics and the new profiles and all that sort of stuff, well, me at least, is not very fun. Oh, also one thing I did forget to mention is that with the new system as well, you're actually able to do a hit analysis. So we go to a game right here, and let's just say we want this one. So you can do a hit analysis of where you shot somebody. So this AML, you can simulate a shot and look at it. You can see what your damage done to it. So then you can do this. Does that. The only thing about this is that it's a bit iffy because it goes by your tank. So this is my bushes on the AML. So for example, if you shoot this guy and he's like fully bushed up, that's not how he was. And then also one thing I noticed, it doesn't take into effect of how much ammo the enemy had. So it goes by whatever your tank was, which is kind of sad. But you can also do enemy hits. So you can get shot and it shows you where you got shot from. See, as you can see right there, I got hit with a heat FS and it killed me. So honestly, pretty cool. But at the same time, it definitely needs some upgrading because, well, as you can see, it is a bit iffy. Also, there's one thing that I just noticed. You can technically like take screenshots in here like this and where your turret is turned. That's pretty cool. Maybe some people can use that to great effect. Oh, it actually like stays. Wow, that's pretty cool. Why can't they do this like regularly? Like where you're able to like customize where your turret is turning. I like I've been like this is just very off topic for we in the video here. But I've been looking at the game what's it called? I'm just gonna go blank right now when I'm trying to think of it. Broken Arrow. Broken Arrow, whenever I looked at like the armory and the like all that sort of stuff, whenever the tanks are moving and everything within like the hangar, it makes them feel alive. And I really wish they could like technically do that in Warthunder. Maybe do like a little toggle where if you want your tanks to be like more dynamic, you can just press it. The dude's like turning and all that sort of stuff. Maybe they can even make a commander come out of the hatch. Just because it makes the tanks just a little bit more lively. I think that would be honestly pretty cool. Yeah, this is my opinion of the update Firebirds patch. So hope everyone has a wonderful day, and we'll see you guys in the next War Thunder video.